Listen to that. Turbo CD games had some of the best music, and this Super CD released in 1992 was no exception. Shadow of the Beast is probably familiar to a lot of computer gamers as it originated on the Amiga, eventually being ported to many other platforms. In this side-scrolling action-adventure game, you take on the role of a man seeking revenge. You see, as a child he was kidnapped, experimented on, and subsequently turned into a beast. Now, well, he's had enough of that, and is seeking vengeance against those responsible. At the beginning, your initial instinct will be to go right. I mean, that's what we just saw for an eternity on the title screen. You'll attack some enemies, get hit from spikes you can't see in the ground, and destroy a ring of baddies at high speed. No, I love that. They just fall off the screen. You will also get quite bombarded and quickly realize that you can't just speed through the game. You need to proceed cautiously until you figure out where these enemies are coming from. And yeah, you'll still get hit anyway. The hit detection is a little weird and will take some getting used to. Then you come across this giant green monster, die over and over and over, and finally realize, oh, you can also go to the left at the beginning. Nice fake out, title screen. Nice fake out. On the left side, you'll get new areas, see a cool animated sequence, climb some ladders, skip some ladders, and die some more. Why? Because this is Shadow of the Beast. The game is mostly trial and error until you figure out the correct path. You also need to locate certain items and reach specific goals, or you cannot continue. For example, you must teleport, or find a key, or kill a gargoyle for the fire shot, or snag a machine gun, or pull a lever that says don't touch, which is lying to you, by the way, so don't believe it. Honestly, your best bet is to draw up a map either in your head or on paper. See, I beat this as a kid, and now I wish I had created a physical map to make this playthrough much easier. Ah well. I have to say that the enemies are weirdly awesome. Hands in the ground, eyeballs, rockets, random snails, green chomping things. Hey, come on, how are you supposed to see that? Yeah, your energy will seem to drop off quickly, but luckily there is energy replenishment lying around. There's one, and there's one, and there's a... Wait, what's that? Oh, that one drains your energy. Lovely. Once dead, you have an option to continue from the same spot you left off, which is pretty cool. But be warned, 3 deaths and you're done for. The graphics in Shadow of the Beast are very nice, retaining a colorful charm, even in the underground levels. I love the layers of multi-scrolling, and as a kid, that was the first thing I noticed on that title screen. There are also little surprises popping up, like ominous eyeballs watching your every move, or skeletal remains that twitch. Yikes. The sound effects are a bit minimal. I mean, you don't even get a cue for picking up an item. But I have to say that the baseball bat noise when you kill off an enemy never gets old. Yeah, batter up. In the end, the music makes up for it big time anyway. In fact, some would say this game is worth the price for the music alone. Your character has very simple movements like a punch, a duck, and a jump kick, and the controls here are pretty responsive. But sometimes the enemy patterns are so erratic you don't have time to react anyway. We have already discussed the somewhat clunky hit detection, but if you take your time, flip the turbo switch up and punch away, judging the timing isn't really too bad. Hence what I said earlier about taking it slow and one step at a time. Unlike the demo on the title screen, where we are just running free and fast without any issues. That title screen, what a prankster. Shadow of the Beast tries to be creepy at times, but also doesn't take itself too seriously. I mean, later in the game, you'll strap on a rocket pack, shoot some enemies down in the air, and eventually attack a giant toe. So I mean, you know, it kind of makes up for the cheesiness of its bosses and weapons by overall just having a good time. The game has 6 stages and some of them will take a while to learn, so again, having that map will help. If things get a bit crazy, hitting select at the title screen allows you to adjust overall hit points, number of continues, and even listen to sounds and music. The game has some quirks and does feel a bit tedious at times. But otherwise, I find Shadow of the Beast to be a fun little game with some decent replay value. Since you are required to learn the stages and basically trial and error your way through the game, you'll be replaying it numerous times in order to get everything just right. You know, it's funny, I remember typing something similar to that in my review of it for the underground newsletter I did way back in high school. Yeah. Wait, what's that? I actually drew a map and published it in the whole time it was right here. I gotta go. Shadow of the Beast is not flawless and has some issues many people will not enjoy. But in the end, the game is really about the journey itself. It has an interesting charm and makes for a fun playthrough if you can get into the mystery of its goals. Now, just a friendly tip. If you do make a map for this, put it where you can find it later.